Hi guys, I'm Chantel and welcome to my channel. In this Flosstube episode, I have 3 fully finished items to share with you. 2 of them are from stitch alongs that I participated in last month in July, and the other one is part of a monthly series that started in August and will run through July of 2023. If you're new to my channel, this is part of a series I'm doing where I'm sharing fully finished cross-stitch pieces that have been finished on either display boards that are available in our online shop or other items that I've put together in order to display cross-stitch finishing. As always, I'll try to give you as many details as I can while I share them with you, but I'll also put more information in the description box below. So if there's any links to charts that you may want or the products that I used, you're going to find them there in the description box. So check that out. But thanks for joining me, and let's get started. The first one that I have to share with you tonight was finished on this particular board. It is called the Wall Pocket, and it is found in our Etsy shop. The Wall Pocket has multiple pieces that come with it. So you have this backboard, you have the front piece, and these 2 accent pieces that are on the front. Then there's also risers that are in between there that you're going to glue together that will create this pocket. And the pocket's there for adding just extra little flowers or embellishments and fun things to your display. The board has been cut and designed to mimic different sizes of boards that have maybe been put together. It does have the lines that are etched in the center to allow for you to create texture and technique with using different types of paints. Let me bring this board in and I'll show you. I used the Bungalow 47 chalk paint collection, which is available in our shop, to create a textured finish on this where I've got grays as my base color and the lighter colors as my top, and then I distressed through to reveal that gray. This board I'm going to use in a future month, but for August I had already painted one using the layered linen technique, and I painted the front of the board just white. And this is my August finish. So like I said, this is the month-to-month series by Stitching with the Housewives. It comes out obviously every month with a new large piece that has the month word on it. So far each one has had a barn, and then it has a smaller piece as well. And it's finished as a round. The next month that I'll do, obviously, will be September, and that's what this one looks like. This chart is available in our shop, so if you haven't picked it up and you want to get started, you can pick this up. As you can see in the picture, Priscilla finished hers on a basket, and she's got that number written on the chart itself. So if you want to finish it like that, those details are on the chart. And then she finished the round in that little tart tray thing at the top. Priscilla has a tutorial on her channel showing you how to mat these, how to create the circle finish and everything. So what I'm going to do is link that in the description box below. So you'll want to go check that out because she's got all the details in there of the sizes of boards that you'll need. I'll also put the sizes that I used here, but I can tell you that this back piece that's mounted on is 7 by 10, and I finished this using Priscilla's Pretty Plaids as my base layer. My middle layer is a 6.5 by 9.5, and it is finished in Chelsea's checks. Now my first layer where the stitch is a little bit larger. Hers was 6 by 9 and mine is 6 1/4 by 9 1/4, and that's because I am stitching mine on 14 count white Aida, and that made my stitch just a little bit bigger. So in order to leave just a little room, I bumped up the size of the board just a little bit. I'll put my finishing sizes in the description box. Each time you see a piece that I share that's fully finished, I will always try to link the board sizes of these press-on boards that I use in the description box so that you see those. To finish my round, she has in her tutorial on how to finish a round, but I went ahead and chose a round hoop that I just picked up at Michael's. I'm sorry, this was at Hobby Lobby is where I picked this one up, and I painted it black It's a 3-inch hoop. And then I added a little bow to disguise the metal part up here. And a button. This button came out of one of the Lori Holt collections. And then it does have some padding, some mat behind it, and I put another board in the back. And I have just glued this right down. I also glued this top part down. You can use magnets so that you can change this out, because obviously September's coming up, and then October is also out already. We are sold out of October, but it is out there and available. So you want to maybe use magnets on this. I'm going to go ahead and paint a new one for each month, because I want to try it with maybe black one month. I'd like to see one done in red and maybe stain one. So I just wanted to try some different colors. So I went ahead and mounted mine permanently onto my board. But this little piece here, it will click. This part will click on with a magnet. So if you had a tiny little rare earth magnet that you put on the front of yours, you could click that right on there, or even glue a little hook on, and it will just hook to the top of it and then disguise that little part with a bow. So that is my August month-to-month finish. And like I said, I'm super happy with how it turned out. And I did use the called for Classic Colorworks floss to finish that with. So let me know in the comments, what do you think? The board is really versatile, and there's a lot of space up here because, like I said, this is a 7x10 base size. It is the same size as the front pocket thing, so that's what I scaled the board out to be, so that it would be pleasing, so that this wouldn't hang over the edge. So this lines right up with the size of that board at the front. So anyway, that's August month to month. I also filled it with, these are from Hobby Lobby, the little flowers. The next finish I have was part of a stitch along that was going on in July, part of the Jolly July from not Stitching the House, Fat Quarter Shop. And this was a mystery stitch along. It was called Letters to Santa. It's fully done now, so that if you want to pick this up, you can get this chart at Fat Quarter Shop. This is the information for what is needed for the thing. The hashtag for this was Letters to Santa Sal. So you will go to that to see a lot more finishing inspiration on how others finish their Letters to Santa board. But I chose to do mine on the letter backer board that we did, ta-da, and is in our online shop. This board is also available at Fat Quarter Shop. So let me tell you some details about how I finished this. The back board here is done in Chelsea's checks. Then there's a little bit of aqua rickrack that is part of the Lori Holt Vintage Trim Collection. I did finish it on 14 count black Aida. I used the called for colors. I believe they were DMC for this one. Yes, I used the called for DMC colors. And it was a lot of fun to stitch. And with ours, you know, you got the border first, and then this part, then that part. So it was kind of fun as it was revealed. The board itself, I painted using a blend of colors of white. I'm going to bring that in to see if you can see the different texture. I did the linen technique on this envelope, but you could just paint it white too. But that was done by layering the different colors of the white from Bungalow 47. And then the red was from Front Door Red. The aqua is Lava Lamp, is the colors that is called. And then this little guy is just a packet from Hobby Lobby that's out right now. He's a little felt Santa with a little red bow behind him. You can see that I have it hanging because there are holes in it to hang it up. And what it's going to hang on is another new piece that's in our shop, and it's this North Pole stand. The stand comes with the bottom pieces. It does have the lines etched in so that you can know where to paint your red and white pole stripes. Has this top piece, and then the pieces that make the hook. And my envelope and Letters to Santa with my Dear Santa on there is going to hang right there on that sign. So that is my Letters to Santa finish. And like I said, I will link more information about this in the box below, but you can pick this letter up in our shop or at Fat Quarter Shop. What do you think? I'm super happy with that one too. Now, the third one I have to share with you tonight. It's a doozy. It's going to take us a little minute. That's why I left it till last. And that was another stitch along. And this is a free one. The Letters to Santa is paid, but this chart's free. So you can pick this one up at Fat Quarter Shop as well. And this is called Boo Crew. This one, I had an idea for it, and it was kind of because of the fact that it's called Boo Crew. It was a little bit challenging for me, I have to admit. It took me a minute to come up with some things for it. But let me show you my fully finished, and then we're going to break it down of how I put this thing together because it's a big one. My fully finished piece is this. And it has so much going on, you guys. I am a little extra on this finish, I must admit. Let's talk about the stitch first. The Boo Crew stitch itself, I used the called for Classic Colorworks colors that it came with. And then the fabric that I used, it's 14 count, but the called for fabric was, let me just refer to this. I think they have it in here. It was a purple fabric. I have a sample of it here. I will link it. The hashtag for this one is hashtag Boo Crew Sal. Oh, here it is. Peaceful Purple is what this is. This was Peaceful Purple, 14 count. I liked it. I did. But things were not as, it wasn't showing up as much as I really, really wanted it to. And I wanted to get it more purple because I don't ever use purple except for Halloween. And I really like purple during Halloween. And I like the accents of purple. So what I did was I took this Peaceful Purple, 14 count Aida, and I used the Bungalow 47 chalk paint color Beaded Curtain, which is purple. I took some of that purple paint and I mixed it into some water, so a very small amount of water. I'm going to figure it out and give you guys a tutorial for this. I'm still working out a little bit of it, but as you can see where I'm going with that is I then took the fabric and I scrunched it up and I put it in the water with the paint. That dyed it to be this purple. I'm going to pull it in here to show it to you one more time so you can see there is variation in the purple as well because you can see some of that purple color underneath the R maybe from the original fabric color, and then the deeper purple is where the paint dyed it. I know your question. No, it's not crunchy. It does soften up, so it is nice and soft because I used it more like a stain or like a dye than like paint. I didn't just paint the paint on. I mixed it into water and then I pushed it in and, you know, rinsed it out and let it dry from there. It's hit or miss, guys. I'm working on it because I did some other pieces and they didn't turn out as good. So it's just like I felt like trying it, felt like giving it a whirl, but it turned out great. And I'm really happy with the color that I got from this because I really kind of wanted purple. I wanted it to read more purple, less gray. The other thing I used to mat this with, it is on press on board. And it's a pretty big piece. I did have to piece it together. The fabric that I used for the backer of it was this piece that I got in a collection from Primrose Cottage Stitches. They put together Lindsay, I believe, puts together like a fat quarter. And I like this. And where it comes from is Midnight Magic 2 by April Rosenthal. I'll show you here. It's not as big as, the gingham isn't as big as Priscilla's Pretty Plaids, and it's like in between the Chelsea's Checks and the Priscilla's Pretty Plaids. So I went ahead and used that one. And this purple rickrack was from a spool that I found at the antique mall. It is faded, it is huge, it is super soft. and it made me a little nervous to cut it off because I've been using it. I've been kind of hoarding it, but I cut a couple snips off just so that I could use a little bit as an accent. The paint on the board, so many pieces to this, you guys. Okay, I did put it on with magnets so that I could take it off and show you this board that I painted. The board that I painted it black first. It was an unfinished piece. I painted it black, then I painted it with metal roof, so lamppost black from Bungalow 47 went on first. Then I painted it with metal roof gray. Then I sanded and distressed through so that the black would pop through. That's the color scheme that I got there. The board itself is actually from Hobby Lobby. I promise I will put all of the information and link it, but I'm going to show you what the board looks like. Our shop can do these boards, but to be honest with you guys, Hobby Lobby's unfinished board section is more economical for you. So I'm going to use their boards from time to time because they're easy to get. They do stock these boards, and you can oftentimes get them at 40% off. This is the actual board that I used, and this one's kind of wonky, but anyway, this is the actual board I grabbed from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to put the description in the numbers for it in the description box below. But you can see it is a rough sawn pine. Rough sawn wood is a dream to paint with chalk paints because that's where you're getting all of this texture when you're distressing. So that's what makes it nice to use a base coat first and then a lighter coat on top of it and then sand through. Now, you saw that that was just a board, right? And what I've been holding up has got a whole box situation on the bottom. Let me show you what I did. There was also in the unfinished section this shelf. Okay, you can see, oops, sorry, it hangs up on the wall like this. It actually has the hooks in the back to hang it on the wall. So this is kind of a box shelf, right? What I did was I bought this and I bought this and I put them together like so. The box is just a smidge, let me hold it before I drop it, a smidge narrower than the board, so the board overhangs just a bit, which I like, and that created this whole box planter situation that we've got going on. Now, I will tell you that it would be nice to maybe pin nail this if you can, if you have access to it, to glue it together with some wood glue and then shoot some nails through in the back so that you can glue that together better. But that's how I created this whole piece, was by combining this little shelf thing and this. And like I said, I'll put both of those items in the box below the numbers so that you can find those. You can order them online. All right, and I painted that the same way. But then you saw something else on here, right? Let me put my Boo Crew back on because he's just on with some magnets. So one moment. We'll put him back on. Get that lined up. And then there's the bottom. Okay, look at this. These are my precious people. So they're my Boo Crew. Let me tell you, aren't they so cute? There's a tradition we have, and this is where the whole concept for this piece came from, is the tradition in my family as they call me Mama. So as their Mama, these little people are the most precious people in my life. And every year, I'm the one who takes them trick-or-treating. My daughter and her husband, they stay home and hand out candy, and I take these little people out trick-or-treating. So that's why I consider them to be my Boo Crew. So what I did was I made 3 small frames that look like this, that are a 4.5 by 4.5 size. So the photos on the inside are actually cut to 3.5 by 3.5 and mounted on the press-on board. And then there's a 4 by 4 board behind those that is also finished with this same April Rosenthal fabric. so that they complement each other. And then I painted them black, but I also put them on, hold on a minute, using a dual lock Velcro. The Velcro is this 3M product. So they are just Velcroed onto the front so that next year I could take them off and put different pictures on. And then I just did this little whimsy painting thing. I did distress the edge, but that's my precious family, kids. Anyway, because like I said, I wanted to be able to, let me show you that Velcro on the front. So this is that 3M, what it is it's a dual lock. We used to use this on our welcome boards, and they held very nice. So they hold this heavy wood, and they're the same on both sides. And they're sticky, so they click, and then you just click them in place like that. And oops, I got it crooked. You want to click them in place the correct way. There we go. And they're back on the front. So that's my Boo Crew finish. Let me show you a few other things about it. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below. Now, the depth of this, like I said, that's a 4x4. What is in our Etsy shop would be these boards right here. They do come in a pack of 3 so that you can add these to your Boo Crew finish if you choose to, or you don't have to. I just thought I'd share them with you. This is what they look like. They have the frame, which is that fun little funky zigzag, and then the board for the back. Other finishes will fit in here that are about a 4x4 size. So you could put more cross stitch in there if you'd like, or you could put photos in there if you'd like, however you want to. The box itself is nice and deep. What I have in here right now are these from Hobby Lobby as well. So I didn't have to stuff the whole box, right? I just did a base of these. There's 3 of these are fitting in there right now. You could take some little pumpkins or those big fat candy corns and add some little orange pumpkin in there. But what I'm intending to do with mine, just put those in there, give you some thoughts and thinking, is I'm filling mine with candy, because why wouldn't you want to put all of this fun? Let's just dump it, huh? Let's just see. And if you haven't already figured out, yes, I do have a candy problem. So there we have it. My Boo Crew candy holder family finish. What do you guys think? I know it's extra. I know it's over the top. Let me know in the comments below if you want a complete tutorial on how to build this. It could be very versatile for a lot of other things. I'll show you one other idea. If you don't want to do the box on the bottom, this finish up here does fit on the board that they recommended that Fat Quarter Shop is using. But it also, you could just use just this hanger if you'd like, and you do want to incorporate the pictures. These could just go on the bottom like this, and then the cross stitch on the top. Or you could flip it around and you could just do the box. You can put these up here on the top with 3 other cross stitch in it. It's a really versatile piece, and if you want to build one, like I said, let me know in the comments and I can do a tutorial and we can build this box together, and I'll show you all of the fun little hacks. But that's been one of my favorites, and I guess a lot of it has to do with the fact that I incorporated so many different things and elements into this one piece of all the things I love, and it's going to be, I know, a family favorite, and I might even just gift it to my daughter so that she has it for the kids. That's going to bring this episode to a close, and thanks so much for joining me. Like I said, there's more information and details in the description box below, but if you have any questions about anything you've seen here tonight, definitely leave me a comment and I'll try to make sure I get back to you. And thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.